The Diddy trial is officially no longer just about Cassie. What began as a disturbing but limited case centered on her evidence has now turned into something no one saw coming. This isn't just news for the tabloids anymore. We're talking about real life. There have been changes in federal courtrooms, leaked summaries from insiders, silent audio playbacks, and a flood of resurfaced clips that are dragging half of Hollywood into the mud. The internet is working overtime, the streets are buzzing, and the people involved are probably sweating harder than they ever have. So, let's talk about what just happened. People who watched the trial and heard about it online say that things took a sharp turn after the prosecution spent weeks laying out Cassie's story of the alleged abuse, the famous freak shows, and Diddy's controlling behavior. The prosecution have gone further than the attention of Cassie is now on audio recordings, and these aren't just any tapes. They're apparently racy tapes of Diddy. Meek Mill and Will Smith, yeah, this isn't just Twitter rumors anymore. It's reportedly being played in open court. It all began when video footage from a hotel lobby was shown a few days ago, but there was no sound. Everyone thought that was the end of it, but now insiders say that sound was played behind closed doors, leaving the whole room frozen. No phones were allowed, and reporters weren't allowed to record. There was only silence. One source said the video showed male-on-male violence that couldn't be denied. There was a shock in the room, and it got even stranger when new witnesses were named. These aren't random people looking for attention. They're ex-Sad Boy artists who used to work for Diddy, toured with him, and stayed at his party. These are people who have seen things for themselves and may have been quiet for years, but are now ready to speak out under legal protection. One of those sounds Dawn Richards, who you may recognize from one of Diddy's old girl groups, recently testified and was later caught on a paparazzi camera looking clearly angry and tired as she left court. Insiders say that her testimony backed up Cassie's story. She straight up admitted that Diddy did bad things. That's not gossip. That's court transcript material. And then there's Diddy's daughter. If you needed a moment that really hit home how bad things are getting, it was her walking out of that courtroom, face pale and shaking. The paparazzi didn't even try to ask her questions. She didn't even look up. Now, sources say that her reaction happened right after the audio was played, which makes what she may have heard inside even more intense. This goes far beyond legal trouble. Now it's time to talk about reputation, family history, and a web of secrets involving some of the most important people in the entertainment business. Smith's name wasn't just thrown out there. It's said to be connected to the audio. Of course, the internet wasted no time posting old clips and interviews that made fun of him. Everything about Will and Diddy's past interactions started coming up again in podcast moments. In one interview that went viral again, comedian Lionel said that Diddy and Will were clapping each other on the cheeks. She said it so casually that most people didn't even notice the first time. This time, though, everyone caught it and the internet went crazy. But then fans started watching old clips of Will with Jaden Smith again. The kisses of love. People used to think of the overly playful energy as that of a funny dad, but now they saw it through a whole new lens. They said it didn't feel right, the tone changed, and then there was the nuclear moment, Brother Bilal. Will Smith's former assistant dropped his own set of allegations that made everything even harder to ignore. He claimed to have personally seen Will engaging in explicit acts, graphically describing a moment where Will allegedly played with another man's junk and tried to finger his right. That wasn't even the most shocking part, Bell went on to say. He once walked in on Dwayne Martin, and Will saying Dwayne was bending Will over a couch like a yoga instructor. His words, not mine. So after Brother Bilal lit the fuse with that wild Dwayne Martin claim, the internet basically turned into a CSI unit. Fans weren't waiting around for media confirmation. They started pulling clips, photos, old interviews, every moment where Diddy and Will were caught together at events, hugging, laughing, posted up like close friends. And then Will came out and tried to shut it all down with a hard denial. His quote, "I ain't nowhere near that man. I did none of that stupid." So, whenever y'all hear it, if somebody say that, it's a damn lie, except that made it worse. The second Will said that people flooded Twitter and Reddit with photo receipts of him and Diddy being well exactly near each other, parties, clubs, award shows, chill hangouts. There's even a clip of them toasting champagne together like old friends. So now people weren't just suspicious, they felt lied to. And this is where Meek Mill enters the frame. His name got dropped during the courtroom playback of those alleged freak-off tapes. Once that happened, it was Chaos, unlike Will, who at least tried to deny things calmly, Meek went into full meltdown mode. Dude was tweeting nonstop, defensive post after defensive post. And honestly, the more he tweeted, the more people were convinced something was up. Thing is, Meek's name has popped up alongside Diddy's for years. Fans always joked about their dynamic, calling Meek stuff like Diddy's in turn pocket puppet, and even darker things I won't repeat here. At the time, people thought it was just trolling, but now those jokes are being dug up and reframed like old puzzle pieces finally clicking into place. And yeah, the internet pulled out receipts on Meek too. One viral video showed him during a party with billionaire Michael Rubin hopping around like a kid who just lost a bet. People started pointing out how uncomfortable it looked like. He was trying to laugh it off, but the energy wasn't right. The voice in the background laughing made him feel bad. Then there was another video of Diddy throwing Meek a birthday party. It looked normal at first, but then you saw the shirtless guys by the pool, and Diddy calling Meek Daddy on camera. Proud of you, I love you. I appreciate life, Daddy. Yeah, the internet didn't let that one go. Every time Meek shared something trying to be tough, fans would quickly respond with that clip. Daddy became a meme overnight, and when he went on a rant saying, "I'm not fruity, stop playing with me," it became a meme too. People's responses were full of screenshots, old tweets, and videos of him looking really cozy with Diddy. But what really hit people was the mystery of the audio. So far, none of it is leaked. Not the video, not the public playback. Only whispers from insiders and courtroom summaries, which makes it even worse. Everyone hears how crazy it is, but no one outside of court has actually heard it. At this level, an insider said it sounded like a man was being hit while Diddy laughed in the background. There was even a short clip going around where someone said they had a recording of Meek and Diddy making love. Whether that was real or just clout chasing is up for debate, but the buzz around it is undeniable, and the fact that the government hasn't released anything makes people even more suspicious. In the US, you can't just hide evidence in a criminal trial unless there's a damn good reason. Journalists have already started asking tough questions. It's not fair that this information is kept secret if it's so important. The public should be able to hear what's being used to possibly convict someone in court. Some say it's to protect the people's privacy or freedom of speech, while others say it's because the tape is too explosive. There are too many famous people involved and too much power behind the scenes. If this information really does leak, it could ruin careers, deals, and even people who haven't been named yet. That's the scariest part. If Diddy, Will, and Meek are just the tip of the iceberg, who else is involved? As crazy as it all sounds, it's not even the celebrity name drops that are the most disturbing. It's the quiet we live in now that everything is out there. iCloud hacks, court records, and even courtroom audio always make their way online, but not a single second of those claimed Diddy tapes has been found online yet. Not a clip, not a whisper of audio, not even a still image. That silence is deafening. It's got people asking one thing: who's protecting this? And that question has opened up a whole new rabbit hole, because let's be honest, this trial stopped being about just Diddy and Cassie weeks ago. This thing is unearthing a network, something deeper, culture behind closed doors that might have been happening for years, and no one had the guts or the power to expose it. The only reason it's coming out now is because of the federal pressure, and because the survivors and insiders finally feel safe enough to talk. We're seeing a full unraveling of someone who's been in the spotlight for decades, someone who used to be untouchable, but he was more than just a music mogul. He was woven into the fabric of hip-hop, TV, fashion, and culture. He had that bad boy for life energy, the lavish parties, the vote or die campaign, the billionaire friends, but now all of that is crumbling in real time. It's crazy how many people are saying, "We should have seen this coming." Because now we can see the red flags. His strange need to control artists, the strange interviews where he says pause after almost every sentence as if he's half joking, half hiding, or the fact that almost every artist who left Bad Boy seemed hurt or disappeared. Icy Drink Londe 26 Danity Kane. Aubrey O'Day has been trying to blow the whistle for years and nobody listened, but the courtroom isn't ignoring it now, and the Dawn Richards testimony added weight to the idea that Diddy wasn't just problematic, he was allegedly predatory. She confirmed that Cassie wasn't lying, that things did happen, and that type of corroboration in court, that's lethal, and the emotional fallout, it's not just hitting Diddy. Will Smith's already fragile reputation ever since the Oscar Slap is now on even shake your ground. People who stood by him during that mess are now questioning his character even more, because if these audio tapes are real, and if he's on them, it won't just be a PR crisis, it could be career-ending. As for Meek Mill, the internet's already treating him like he's cooked. He hasn't been charged with anything, but the way he's reacting, the over-defensiveness, the all trying to ruin me posts, it just adds to the suspicion. And that's the thing about the court of public opinion. Once your name is tied to something this dirty,